Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. How y'all doing? What's going on? Tell me everything. I am super excited to be here. But before I get into anything, let me run my disclaimer and I'll be right back. Okay, just wanted to get that out of the way so that we could move on and have some fun. I am in a silly, goofy mood. So if you've ever been on a stream where I'm in a silly, goofy mood, it's going to be a good time tonight. If you're brand new to my channel, welcome. My name is Erin Bees. I'm a wife, a mom, a military veteran, a certified personal trainer, and I spent 13 and a half years in multi-level marketing, healed my way out, and now I'm using all of my social media platforms to educate and raise awareness around the dangers of multi-level marketing companies and the tactics used by their reps. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, that'd be cool, at The Real Beast Mode. If you want to follow me on TikTok, Beast Mode LV. And yeah, follow me. Let me know. I did... some of you have been asking about you want to see how I do my makeup, you want to see how I do my skincare. So I did step out of my comfort zone a little bit today and did a skincare routine on TikTok. And I did it's a part 1, part 2, because the video is kind of long. So if you guys want to support me stepping out of my comfort zone and want to drop a comment or ask me a question or something on either of those platforms, that would be awesome. And I did film, getting ready for this, I did film a makeup routine. So that is coming, because I know some of you have asked multiple times. So thank you for that. Hey, DC, what's up? What is going on? Oh, man, I needed to decompress from my town's Facebook page. The bigots were out in full force, and I can't comment back for my own safety. Oh, be careful, Mia. Ugh. Don't love that. Don't love that at all. Also, listen to DC, okay? Lick the stream. It tastes like, I don't know what. Tell me what it tastes like in the comments. Hey, Avery Joe. Hey, everybody. All right. We have a little bit of a long video today. It's been a while since I've done a long stream. And before we get started, y'all already know what time it is. You know what time it is. And if you are new and you're like, what's going on? This is I have an ASMR moment. I'm a big fan of Diet Dr. Pepper. Huge fan. Strawberries and cream is my favorite. Not sponsored, but would love to work with Dr. Pepper. Insert little sound effect there if I had prepared that, but I didn't. Anyways, so I do an ASMR moment and we rate the bubbles if you're a member. And you have the bubbles emote. Get that ready. And if you want to become a member, if you scroll down the video description and it says join this channel or something along those lines, you can click that, or there should be a button or something if you're watching on your phone or mobile device. I don't know, but you should be able to click something and become a member, and we have some fun. We had a lot of fun making the thumbnail for this video today. It was so fun. So, all right. So anyways, I'm going to open this. You rate the bubbles 1 through 10. And yeah, here we go. What do we think? What do we think? 1 being 10 being, those are crispy. The bubbles were bubbling. We had so much fun. We had so much fun today. Somebody said, I don't remember who it was, but somebody said, you should put a cow in it. And I was like, oh my God, I started looking at cow print and then I found that picture and yeah, it was good. Yeah. And Charlene helped to name it. It was a good time. It was a good time. A solid 8. Okay. 8.5, 8 out of 10. Okay. 7. Good crack. Quite quiet bubbles. Yeah. The bubbles were kind of demure, kind of cutesy. Anyways, let's get to business, shall we? Today, we are going to talk about, brace yourselves, the color personality. Yeah, it's a color personality training. by Ashley Mayfield. She is known as the preacher's wife. She is an ItWorks. Plot twist, it doesn't work. Not just the products, but also the compensation plan does not work. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, the thumbnail making is so fun. I appreciate you guys so much. And shout out to the members that joined me live and were able to help with that, because that's the collaboration is a lot of fun. So Ashley here is a top leader in ItWorks, and she likes to call people heifers, which is where the cow situation comes in. And she likes to sprinkle in a little spiritual manipulation. She likes to, yeah, I just think she's not a kind human to her team. I think it's gross what she does. And are we going to laugh? Absolutely, we are. Yeah, we're going to have a good time tonight. Are we going to debunk what she's saying? What is up with my voice? Yes. Yeah. Are we going to debunk MLMs while we're here? Yeah. Yeah. So buckle up, because it's going to be a good time. And if you have not already liked and subscribed to the channel, you should. You should. All the cool kids are doing it. You know what I mean? Anyways, let's see what Ashley has to say.
It's so important that we understand who we are. And that's why tonight we're going to be talking about the color personality, because
I said this on the members only live, but I find it so interesting that she's talking about color personalities and she's got this beige behind her. I find that hilarious.
You know, a lot of times we come into a space like this, we come into a business like this, and
that's awesome, Erica.
We are saying things like, well, why isn't this business working? Drop a me if you've ever said that. Why isn't it not working for me? Why is it working for everybody else? Why am I the only one that it's not working for?
Except it's not. That's not how that works. It's actually the opposite of that. In multi-level marketing, the majority of people lose money, but only the top of the pyramid are the ones that are going to be making any kind of money. So yikes. Also, congratulations, Erica. 4 months free of MLM. That is a huge deal. Also, Kojo, I don't know if you're on here. Kojo sent me this shirt, so I wanted. I typically try to shout people out if they send me stuff. I'm not asking you guys to send me anything, but I just want to acknowledge that. So Kojo, if you see this and you're in the Chicago area, you guys, she has her own gym. Super cool. Check her out.
Or why am I the only one that can't sign distributors? Why am I the only one who people like no one in my network has money? Okay, drop a me if we've all heard that. And I think we grow in layers and we grow in levels. So tonight we are going to be talking about the color personality. I would definitely recommend that you get a pen, you get a piece of paper, that you
guys get your notebooks out, get a pen and a pencil, and get ready to write down some life-changing training from Ashley Mayfield on the color personalities. Yeah. Yeah.
You want to lean in and take notes. And before we do get started, I think it's really important to just note that there's not one color personality that's better than the other. Go ahead and drop a yes in the chat if you've ever seen someone in our tribe have a personality that you just wish.
Hi, white people, can we please stop saying the word tribe? It's offensive. Let's maybe don't. Oh, by the way, she says that throughout this. So brace yourselves for that, along with a black scent. Yeah, don't love that at all. Also, Ashley, knock it off. Okay, not cute, not cutesy, not very demure. God.
You had that, like, it's just not who you are. I can just tell you from, in fact, you know what, instead of dropping a yes, drop the color that you wish you were, or that you had a little bit of. Why? One of the things that can just get me in a chokehold, I'm talking like boohoo's not crying, is the fact that I'm not a green. I am negative 37.
I'm sorry. You're going to cry because you're not a green personality. There are worse things in the world going on. What?
7% green. I respect greens. I'm married to one. And one of my best friends is green, and many of you who are greens have taught me things. But I often wish that I could look down into the details. I often wish that I could just be organized. I often wish that I had the capacity to teach. I feel like you guys are like the teachers, you know? And I know you might think that's really crazy because you're like, okay, Ashley Mayfield, like you teach all the time. But no, I don't do it. Like I watch when Bree teaches, and I don't do it like she does. And sometimes I have to be mindful. Like I love that and I honor that in other people, but I'm like, man, I wish I had that. And so just know that I think one of the things that I love about our business as well, specifically our tribe, is being able to understand other people. That's when my leadership shifted. When I first joined, I expected everybody to be who I was and to want it like I want it. Drop a yes if you've ever done that, okay? Why can't they just want it like I want it? Why can't they just do what I'm telling them to do? And then I realized everybody's different. And so one thing I've been able to identify about my personality over the last few years is that I learn in patterns. And once I can find the pattern in something, it's literally game over. And so as I go into this, just know that there is not one color personality that is better than the rest. We actually have diamond and above in our tribe, someone that is dominant in every single color. I think that's what makes our tribe unique. The Bible even says,
oh my God, how do we go from tribe to the Bible in like the same sentence? What are we doing? Ashley, what are we doing? Please stop it. Don't love that. Hey, Wendy, what's up? All this for skinny wraps? Girl.
As you know, body parts are very unique. There's a reason my ear can't taste. There's a reason my toe can't smell. Praise the Lord. But it's when you put all the pieces together that it is the total package. So I just want to speak that over you real quick as I go through this. This is not to...
Please don't speak anything over us. We don't receive it. We don't want it. We don't like it. Okay.
Condemn you in any way. This is not to make you feel bad about what you're not. I often think that a lot of people use their personality type as a crutch. Well, I'm just not organized. You know, I'm a blue. No, ma'am, we don't do that. Oh, well, I'm just, you know, I'm very direct and aggressive. I'm just a red.
I guarantee you she has said that to people, excusing her or attempting to excuse her behavior. Listen, I just communicate directly. You know, I'm a red personality. I'm very, very direct. I'm sorry if that offended you, but that's how I operate. Listen, Ashley, stop. I know that's happened.
No, we don't play that game. We play the growth game. Okay. And so once you define it, you can defeat it. And so, but just know you don't need to be the total package, because when we understand our gift and we have self-awareness and we develop ourselves and we all come together.
Ironic that she's talking about self-awareness. Is the self-awareness in the room with us for you, Ashley? Because
sitting at the table in confidence about who Jesus has made us to be, who God has called us to be, that is when we are powerful. So jumping in, it's so important that you do know your top two colors. So if you know your top two colors, drop those in the chat real quick. I'm a red blue. Okay. So and I love being a red blue. And if you're a red blue, baby, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We just love ourselves. Okay.
Okay, but the cackle is kind of funny. that is kind of funny. We're a red blue. We just love ourselves. I mean, I hope everybody loves themselves. Genuinely, but this is so weird in a training for people in her multi-level marketing company on her team that she's trying to make money off of. The sprinkling of the religious language is it seems so out of place here for me, at least. I don't know. I don't like this.
And just to show you I am unbiased, I actually think yellows are one of the most powerful colors, even though I'm not a yellow, okay?
Wow, I've never heard that from an MLM leader in my life. Yellows are the most powerful. I wonder if that's because those are the people that care the most about community. I wonder if that's because those are the ones that are, according to this, the ones that are the nurturers, the ones that are taking care of everybody, that are going to do the things behind the scenes. And in my opinion, based off of this, the easiest, and from what we're seeing here, the easiest to manipulate. I wonder if that's really what she means here. Come on.
But go ahead and drop what color you are, and we are going to dive in. I'm going to try to move through this as efficiently and effectively as possible. So when it comes to leading the people, I think that you first want to understand the first person that you lead is yourself. Sales and leadership are the two skills that will make you the most profitable in this world. A lot of you are really good at sales. You're really good at enrolling and recruiting, but you might not be good at leadership. And so understanding other people's personalities are going to help you with leadership, because communication really is about the receiver. And so it's one thing to make yourself a lot of money, but how many of you want to 10x your business? Drop a 2 in the chat. You want to 10x your income. Okay. You don't just want to be you making money. You want your team to help you cross finish lines too. You got to develop your leadership. Leadership is phenomenal and it's hard. You know, one of the greatest things about leadership is you're dealing with people. And one of the hardest things about learning about leadership is you learn at the expense of people. Gagged on effective. Does that say gagged? Leadership is gagged on effectiveness. I don't think that's what I meant. I think it's gauged. However, I can tell you that the reason I'm at where I'm at, it's because I made a lot of mistakes with people, and some mistakes I wish I could go. Some mistakes I learned, so I don't. But some mistakes I do wish I could go back and change. And so, leadership. Here's also something that I want to note before we dive in. I'm the type of person I would rather people say I was too much than too little. So all of my overthinkers, just remember that. I would rather someone join me and say, man, Ashley Mayfield, I don't want to be under her anymore. I hate MLM. She pushed me too much. She cared too much. She was in my chat every day. She was always challenging me. She was bossy. I would rather people say that than say, well, I joined Ashley Mayfield and I never heard from her again.
Oh my God, stop.
Now, have people said that? I'm sure I've had people fall through the cracks just like everybody. I'm human. But I would rather err on the side of doing too much. I think that as a leader, we also have to be proactive daily. Daily, we have to be proactive. Make sure that you get in those chats, because the higher up you go, the harder it is. It's impossible for me to get in everybody's chats. I've got over 1,000 active people underneath me. Like it would be impossible, right?
She's got to make sure she throws that out there, you know, to flex. Listen, we have a very large team. 1,000 people. I can't be in everybody's chats. Okay, Ashley. Also, colors help us manipulate people better. Yep, write that down.
And so as we develop in leadership, it's important that as a leader, I'm developing leaders, right? And the way that you lead people best is investing time in them. Now, someone who's high maintenance, low producing, I'm probably not going to invest a lot of time into you until you become high maintenance, high producing, right? And if you're confused.
Oh, because you're not making enough money off of them. So they're not important enough to you to invest in people. Invest in that person, those people, because you're not making enough money. So you're only going to pour into people if you're making the most money off of them, if they're recruiting a bunch of people. Even though the people that aren't recruiting, that are just ordering the product, you're making a ton of money off of those people because the distributors are the customers, in my opinion, in these companies. Oh, but no. Until you're high producing, you don't get my time. Disgusting. But that's what happens in MLM. When was the last time you were on a training? When was the last event that you attended? When was the last time you scheduled a coaching call? When was the last time you did XYZ? It's a way to control the behavior of the people in their downline.
On that, go back and watch Meredith's Zoom from last month. It was a very life-changing Zoom for me. But let's dive in. Real quick, just a little overview if you're not familiar with the colors. Again, I'm going to reiterate, there's not one color that's better than the other. Reds were driven, red is a very internal color. We're driven internally. We're driven by title, status, power. If you're a red, go ahead and drop the word red in the chat. We like to be in power. We like to be controlled, or in control, excuse me. Blues are like the life of the party. So reds are very goal-oriented, result-oriented. Blues are very people-oriented. They wear their heart on their sleeves. Blues we're full of charisma. We have good energy. We're driven by connectedness. We like to connect with people. Yellows are service oriented. Yellows are those worker bees behind the scenes that make everything happen, that don't like being center stage. They're the hostess with the mostess. Okay. Yellow would give you the shirt off of their back. And yellow is the chameleon color. So if at any moment anyone ever tells you I'm all the colors, no, you're a yellow, babe. So yellow yellows can walk into any room and adapt to the room. It's one of their superpowers, but often yellows, when they lay their head down at night, they don't know who they are and what they want because they're so busy serving other people. They have a really big heart. And then greens, we love our greens, are strong, are loyal, are data driven, are, you know, that black caution hat. You need someone at the table that's going to say, hey, that's a great plan, but how the freak is that going to happen, right? Where are the greens at? Greens are very meticulous. They're very data driven. They're OC.
Has she taken a breath? I'm really worried about her oxygen saturation levels. Really concerned because I don't feel like she has taken a breath this entire time. She's just running through it. This is not sped up on my end. I don't know if she sped it up on her end before she uploaded it or whatever, but this is not sped up. And I feel like I needed to take that pause to give her a chance to regulate her O2 sat because good God. Oh, I can't.
You have a planner for a planner for a planner, very analytical mindset. Okay. So let's kind of break these down and talk about strengths and opportunities. What are the blind spots? So first, for a red personality, if you are a red or you are lead.
Hey, Ashley, this cursive font is terrible. Nobody can read that, as they've already said in the chat, because they're awesome. Y'all in the chat are amazing. Also, shout out to the replay crew. I appreciate y'all. Nobody can read this, Ashley. Terrible.
A red, you need to know that some of their strengths are they are going to take action. Where my red's at, okay? We just going to take action. We're not going to wait for your 5-point plan. Babe, we're already messaging people before we even got in the tribe group,
Babe.
okay? Like, you going to have to slow us down because
Stop talking like that.
Because we are just like that bull in the china shop. We just want to take action. We like
bull?
movement. We're very.
Did it sound like she said bowl? Like a bowl of noodles? That's what it sounded like to me.
Very full of courage and zeal. We're very passionate about what we do. We are the people who will get the job done at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, the bills need to be paid. So we are the ones that are having babies on our phones. We are the ones that had a car accident that show up to the meeting. Like, we will do whatever it takes because the job has to get done, and we're not afraid of hard work. We often see in a bird's eye view, and that
I love how she's making this about her. This feels like one big look at me and look at what I can do and look how I show up. You guys don't have an excuse. I had a baby. I got in a car accident, blah, 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 blah. And I'm still going to show up because the job needs to get done. Oh, don't love that. Not one bit.
really sets us up for success, where there are certain colors that see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As a red, one of our superpowers is we see 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I don't think that I did say this, so let me back up. There's always that one person that's like, well, I'm a red, but that's not me. Okay, just there's a sliding scale about all this stuff. Okay, so like reds really like money. I'm just like greens do. I'm not driven by money. So what actually drives me is more of my blue, even though my red is more dominant.
I am calling BS. You're at the top of the pyramid. You're telling us that unless people are, what did she say? She didn't say, I'm thinking productivity. That's not what she said. But you have to be bringing in high producing. I think that was what she said. You have to be high producing in order for her to give them her time. But she's going to tell us that she's blue. She's about the people and having fun. Right. Oh, you're not motivated by money, are you, Ashley?
So just understand that there's a sliding scale. Just because I say one thing, I'm saying the pattern and like the average red is this way, but you could be high functioning, you could be low functioning. So what are some of the blind spots of maybe a low functioning red? Well, they're very aggressive and bulldoze. How many of you guys know that, like, you ever work?
What is she? Okay, first of all, this high, low function garbage, in my opinion, it is not good to be productive 24/7. It is not good to be constantly grinding 24/7. So this one or the other, this or that, us versus them kind of thing that she's getting into is so weird. I don't love it. And I can remember being in the MLM and working 24/7, literally working 24/7. Thinking of ideas, writing ideas down in the middle of the night. Like, it was absolutely bonkers. And I don't know if that's what she's trying to do here, but I am not a fan of that hustle culture. I am not a fan of being, productive 24/7. I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's good for people in many different ways, just in my opinion. But I'm thinking that that's what she's trying to do here. Oh, you're a low functioning. You need to kick it up a notch. Oh, how do I kick it up a notch? Well, why don't you do a 90-day run? Something along those lines.
Worked for someone that was really demanding, that was really rude, that bulldozed, that just like didn't give a crap about you. They just cared about the finish line, and then they took all the credit. Anybody had worked for someone like that? Okay.
Sounds like maybe your upline you have an issue with, Ashley. I don't know that to be true, but that's quite a specific example.
I'm not saying in this tribe. I'm talking about like in corporate America, okay? And right. So Reds, we will bulldoze over people. We will care about the group more than the person. I heard this quote. My husband's a Trekkie, and I heard this quote. Spock sacrificed himself in one of the movies, and Captain Kirk was like, Spock's like dying behind this glass, breathing in this toxic air. And Captain Kirk's like, why did you do that? And Spock said, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one. And that's how Reds, that's how we see, we will sacrifice the one person. All my yellows are like cringing on the inside because they will save the one person instead of the group. But like Reds, we will save the whole instead of the one. And sometimes that comes very aggressively, or we can bulldoze over people. Reds, we're also pretty
I like how she just kind of skipped over that part. Sometimes we can be aggressive and bulldoze over people. Yeah, actually, we know.
Stubborn. Where are my stubborn people at? I do believe that stubbornness is an asset. However, sometimes a low functioning Red can come in and think my way is the highway. And I kind of want to look at them and be like, heifer, I've been here 7 years and I'm a Red. And listen,
and there's the heifer. There it is. Yeah, I don't know if she says that because she thinks it's funny or cute or it's making her, look cool. I'm not really sure. I don't love it. I think it's offensive. Yeah.
Going to have the best of the best all the time, every time. But you're right. You come in day one and you think you know more than me. Cool. Take a seat, babe. Okay. And so like, you got to make sure you use your stubbornness in the right way.
Her ego. Unreal. Ashley. Oh, I can only imagine what the private chats with her look like. I can only imagine.
A lot of people get stubborn about the method in which they do something instead of stubborn about the goal. Be so stubborn about making $1,000 a month that you're willing to do whatever it takes to get there. Okay. And then Reds, a blind spot is we can be pretty controlling. Like, you can't do that without me. You need,
just like she said, oh, you think you know everything? You just joined? Take a seat, babe. Remember that whole thing? Yeah. Because here's what I know to be true. You can learn something from anybody. It doesn't matter if they're new to whatever you're doing. You can learn stuff from everybody. That's how life works,
need to wait for me, do it my way, how I said, because I said, and it's just not going to grow your leadership very well. I tried that. It didn't really work out very well for me. In fact, I tried it and I attracted a ton of Reds, and then it was bad. So just be mindful that these can be your blind spots. So if you're leading a Red, how can you best serve them? I think one of the best ways that you can serve a Red personality, and if you're a Red, I'd love to hear from you in the chat, remind us that it's okay to prioritize the person over the pursuit. And this really hit me hard about 2 years ago.
Remind them it's okay to prioritize the person over the pursuit. Wow.
I got into, it was January of last year. It was actually right before, or January 2 years ago, I think. It doesn't matter when it was, but we were really in the house. Like, you guys know, we've built our house now, but we were in like looking for the house. And I was so frustrated, and I was working really hard to try to get our savings account where it needed to be. And I just remember like the Lord speaking to me and like, what's it matter if you have the house if like your family hates you? Because me and my husband were fighting at the time because he's like, you don't.
Oh, I bet she was a real peach to be living with at that time, or just in my opinion, in general. When she's trying to push for a goal, I bet she is so kind and loving, and yeah.
don't prioritize me, like you put me on the back burner. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Everything I do is for you. Y'all ever had these conversations? Can we be real? And my husband was trying to tell me how he feels, and I wasn't listening because I was being stubborn. And then I wasn't really spending time with my kids, and because I was like, well, I've got to work. And I had to realize that people are just as important as the finish line, because if you cross the finish line.
Imagine having to be told that your family is more important than your goals. Imagine.
But you're a douchebag. What's it matter? Right?
I mean, Ashley, if the shoe fits, I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, cool. Let's move on from reds because that makes me uncomfortable. I'm just kidding. So green personality, where am I?
Why does that make you uncomfortable? Because the whole time you basically talked about yourself. Are you uncomfortable talking about yourself? Are you uncomfortable at that level of self-awareness? Does that make you uncomfortable? Or are you afraid people are going to see you for what you really are? In my opinion, a manipulator that hides behind being a preacher's wife. Don't love that.
Hello, I love you guys. What are the strengths of a green? You're so smart. You're so pretty and smart. You're so intellectual, okay? I just want to lick your little brain because y'all got a lot going on.
Girl, you are nasty. What? You want to lick their brain? Okay. Yeah, her husband is a preacher. Yep.
They're incredible, full of wisdom. I honor my husband. He is just full of so much wisdom. And, I love going to him for advice. He's often going to give me unsolicited advice, whether I want it or not, but it's so funny because he's always right. My husband's and greens are this way, just in general, right? You guys can walk outside and say, the sky is purple. And you're like, that's so dumb. The sky's not purple. And you walk outside and the sky's freaking purple. It's like they're always right all the time. Okay. I think there's been like twice in 15 years of marriage, my husband has not been right. And I do like to shove that in his face, but it does not happen very much.
Oh my God. You sound like such a jerk. Oh my God.
They're just always right because they're not, like my husband said this one time. He's like, if I don't know something, I'm not going to guess. It's either going to be right or I don't know. And me, I'm a blue. I'm kind of dense. I'm just going to guess and lie and make it up. I don't know. But
you're just going to guess and lie and make it up. Well, I mean, that tracks, right? She's telling people they can be successful and lead people by knowing their color personalities. Yeah, I'd say that is not truthful. Also, I don't think she's any kind of a leader at all. Just because you have people in your downline does not mean you're a leader. If you have to tell people I'm the leader, you're probably not the leader. I'm also going to say that.
Very intellectual. They value systems and order. So you need to know this about the greens underneath you, or maybe you are a green. You really value structure. So it's really important that you create that structure around yourself. That way you can feel confident in what it is that you're doing. But it doesn't mean that you have to build the entire house before you start. You know what I'm saying? Like you can build a foundation though. And then they're very detail oriented. I think that's one of the things I love most. They're very meticulous. They get down in the mully grubs, and it's something that I really value. Where are my blues at? Blues and greens are opposite. So I don't know if I said that either, but you'll see reds and yellows are opposites. Greens and blues are opposite. Okay. So everything a red is, yes, there's similarities between reds and yellows. There's similarities between greens and blues, but the most stuff, they're pretty opposite. And so they're very detail oriented. And although blues can be very creative and they like details that way, it actually really drains me.
It really is.
So like, I'm very much checked out. If you're talking about things that are like on an intellectual level that I don't comprehend, or
I don't know. I don't know how she recruits people onto her team talking like this. Does she talk like this on social media, or does she save this gem, these types of gems for her team only? I'm not really sure. I have no idea who is joining this person. No, thank you.
That I don't even care about, like deuces, I'm out. Okay, I don't like it. So what are the blind spots of a green? Well, they can be situationally absorbed. What do I mean by that? Greens you see to the tip of your nose. That means if one person quits your business, the whole thing is falling apart and you can't see beyond it. like what your reality is, you think that is the new way forever. And so I've had to walk a lot of greens off the ledge because they were having a bad day. And it's like, whoa, like you get to honor the progress that you've made, even if you're not where you want to be. But they're very, where reds see the big bird's eye view, greens see the step, okay? They can be very exhaustive. I don't mean that they are exhausting. What I mean by exhaustive is that, you know, before a green takes action, they want to know the 17 and a half ways that something can go wrong. Because
I mean, I think that she probably could have put that differently on the slide.
Sometimes they're driven by the worst case scenario. And so they're trying to eliminate all the things that can go wrong because they can be a little pessimistic sometimes, low functioning greens. Okay, we love y'all though. And so they're very exhaustive. So they try to find all the different ways something can work and know their options. They're very resourceful. However, that can really hinder them because then that creates too much thinking. And then they think they've actually taken action when all they did was think. Right? And we don't want to live the situation in our head and in reality. Why do it twice? They're also unfulfilled by people. Where are my greens at? Okay. Y'all y'all don't like people very much. I know, like my husband, I'd be telling him a story and he'd be like,
why are you talking like that?
Ashley, you know why they did that? It's because they're dumb and they make dumb decisions. And I'm like, oh my God, a person's a person, no matter how small. You're so mean. And he'd be right though, okay? And so, but it's okay. I think it's important that you understand that just because you're not fulfilled by people, it doesn't mean that you hate people. Everybody has different things that fill their cup. And I think one of the coolest things, you know, even like about my husband, who people don't really get him going. It doesn't really fill his cup. My husband is such a loyal friend. He is a loyal friend. He will go above and beyond for the people that he does care about. And that's really cool to see. So you don't want to piss a green off. I'm gonna tell you that right now. When you get to the point where you cross the line with them, it is game over, and not game over in a red type of way, because a red might be a little petty. It's game over like a green could ruin your life because they're so smart. Okay, so like you don't want to piss a green off. So how can you serve a green best? Well, give them permission to be flexible and to make mistakes. Flexible and make mistakes, because I love y'all greens, but sometimes y'all got a little stick up the booty. Who wants to be honest and say that's you as a green? You know, stick up the booty, okay? Y'all don't like to be flexible. And it's okay to make mistakes. You know, greens are a very perfectionistic mindset. They set a very high standard for themselves. They judge themselves. And so you're going to make mistakes. Mistakes are okay. It doesn't mean that you're a failure. So blue personalities, where are my blues? Okay, I'm like 30% blue. I'm like 60% red, but that 30% blue, y'all, petty Betty. Okay, she's a little low functioning sometimes. So strengths, what are the strengths of blues? Energy. When people tell me my energy is on point, it is top tier. I just want to kiss your little toesies.
Hey, Ashley, your energy is fake. Yeah. I guarantee you when you get off of this, you flop into that chair like, oh, that's exhausting. I guarantee you, this is not real. I don't believe that for a second. She might be a high energy person, but what she's doing here is not real. No, it's a show. It's an act.
Okay, but blues usually have good energy because we're the people, okay? And we are driven by connection. And that's something really cool that I see in one of my daughters. She just wants to be around me. She wants to be around people. She wants to be in the living room. Like, she values connection. It doesn't even have to be a competition. It doesn't have to be winning. It just wants to be connected with another human, right? And so we get our energy from people. If I'm feeling sad, and listen, this is what some of you blues need to identify. If you're working from home and you're feeling sad, you need to go out to the grocery store. You need to go walk around Walmart, okay, and just go say hi to people.
Walk around Walmart and go say hi to people? No, leave people alone. They're just trying to get their groceries and things.
people. And so, and be invested in your team, you know? And so connection is really, really big. And blues tend to be very artistic and creative. And I think that's something you can absolutely implement here within our team, within the business, like creating story slides. If you get to the point where you're making like really good slides that look nice, that are like universal for the whole tribe, let's get them in the tribe stories. Like if you want to serve that way,
First of all, if somebody is making something using their creative gifts and talents, why would they share that with the entire MLM team, knowing that they're just going to take that and everybody's going to be using the same thing? I've talked about this before. I'm going to talk about it again. The whole purpose of marketing is to stand out from your competition. Well, your downline, your sideline, your upline, you're competing with everybody. Y'all are selling the same products in a multi-level marketing company. So why would you spend that time and energy and then share it with the entire team? It's watering down your creativity. That's wild to me.
Single one of you has a gift, and we invite you to serve the tribe using your gift. I had one of my Ruby leaders who we did a one-on-one Zoom a couple weeks ago, and she said, I love doing she's a second timer. She went to Double Diamond her first time. And she said, I love doing on Sunday nights, like content Zooms where like I would get my team on a Zoom and we would just plan for an hour. We would play music, but we would plan our content together. And she said, is that something I could do for the tribe? And I would like, my heart leaped out of my chest. I was like, yes, because it activated my blue. I was like, connection. And she's in leadership. She's someone I trust. Like she's checked all the boxes. Okay. If you're brand new and you want to host a Zoom, we're not going to roll that way because I'm also a red heifer. Okay. So you got to check my boxes. Okay. But she checked.
Gross. If you're new, probably not going to lead a Zoom. So that's her being controlling. That's her saying you're not producing enough to show me that you're worthy of leading a Zoom. Yeah, disgusting. She is saying all of the quiet parts out loud, and I love that for us, but I hate that for the people that are on this, that are a part of her team, thinking that this is good training.
And I was like, oh my gosh, if you were to do that when the time is right for you and you can take on that task,
Sam.
That would be incredible. Like what a way to serve the tribe with your skill set and with her color personality. She's not a blue. But anyways, but she's still creative. She's a green, so she still has that detail oriented. Anyways, and she's yellow. So blind spots of a blue, we're hyper emotional. We wear our heart on our sleeve. Oh my gosh, this is something I've had to grow in so much. If you are a dominant blue, you need to read the book Emotional Intelligence 2.0. Don't ask me for don't message me because you didn't write it down because you're a blue. Emotional Intelligence 2.0. Emotional Intelligence 2.0. It's a white book with orange writing. Don't message me and ask me for the title because you're a blue and you just not listening right now. Okay, I love you though. But we're very emotional, and I had to learn how to develop my emotional intelligence. And that's something that I had to learn how to clap for other people. I had to learn how to not be jealous of other people.
I think you need to reread that book. It didn't stick. Not at all. You were jealous of other people? What about you being rude to people? Does it talk about that in that book? Because I think you skipped that chapter.
I had to learn how to not be driven by my emotions, but learn how to manage them effectively. And that has changed my life. That book changed my life. And even if you're not a blue, I would encourage you to do it. In fact, there was a year I gave all of our diamond leaders that book. But if you're specifically, if you're a blue, it will change you. But every other color should do it too. Blues tend to be very disorganized. That's not going to serve you very well, babe. Okay, we got to get organization. Very, very important. And then we're too urgent. We're Chicken Little. The sky is falling. She
is so chaotic. I just needed to pause to just give us all a break because she is so chaotic. She is so all over the place. I don't know who she's trying to convince that she's got it together, whether it's she's trying to convince herself or whoever's watching. Hey, I've got it together. I know all of the things. Write this down. Oh man, can we all just like take a deep breath? Because this is a lot. Okay.
I will be very humble right now. If you've ever been under the wrath of Ashley Mayfield dropping me in the chat, or maybe I jumped the gun, I might have jumped down your throat a little too soon before I got the facts and I had to apologize. I said, oh, I digress. I apologize. I might have done it earlier in the chat when I said Angel was the only 5 and then I scrolled up. Okay, listen, it takes my brain a few minutes to catch up to my feet. Sometimes I speak before I think, maybe 90% of the time, but I'm woman enough to apologize. So I apologize. Okay.
So she was mad because there weren't enough people on the Zoom. Maybe it's because your training sucks, Ashley. Maybe it's because you're a jerk, although I want to say something else. I'm not going to. Maybe it's because you talk to your people like this, and people that are actually leaders don't talk to their people this way. This is wild. Oh, man.
Okay, so how can you best serve? Stop saying that I've done it to you. Now I'm going to get judged. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you're definitely getting judged. We are judging you. Yeah. When I say we, I mean the anti-MLM movement. For sure. Yeah.
How can you best serve a blue? Teach them it's safe to have structure. Dominant blues do not like structure. They're like a caged animal. And that's how I used to feel. I used to feel like a caged dog because we just want to be a butterfly. We want to flow in the wind. We want to go where our feelings are. That does not change your life. If you only focus on what makes you happy, you will avoid growth. Growth is what changes your life. Change is what changes your life. And how many of you guys know change is uncomfortable? Drop an amen in the chat. Okay. Change sucks, but it's the only proven thing. And so, blues, you need structure. You need to bring your feet back down to reality because we be floating in la la land sometimes. All right. Yellows, where are the yellows at? Everyone drop a yellow if you're yellow. I love you.
Oh my God.
Strengths of the yellow is they value clear instructions.
First of all, that yellow is so aggressive on my eyes. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. That's, yeah.
Us reds, we like to be bossy, and yellows like to be instructed. So it's just a beautiful combination. Yellows thrive in person. Oh my gosh. Okay. You guys overthink everything. Praise the Lord. But when you're in person, so if you have a yellow in your downline and they're local, like get together with them, get face to face, do Zooms once a week with your yellows. Okay. They really thrive in person and like seeing things. They like to get things right. They do not like to make mistakes. They want very clear instructions, and they will follow those instructions to a T, as long as they're not being rebellious, because yellows are just as stubborn as reds. Okay. So you don't know more than your leader. I promise you. But yellows are very relationship driven.
I like how she throws in these little jabs. You don't know more than your leader. I promise you. The ego, man. The ego.
And so they're service oriented. They're relationship driven. What are the blind spots? Well, yellows can tend to lack initiation. Okay. Not all yellows, low functioning yellows. And so they're kind of like, they'll have that deer in the headlight look. So a tip that I like to do in leading yellows is you don't want to ask a dominant yellow. Maybe like if they're like a green yellow, that's different than a yellow green. Okay. But a dominant yellow, I don't like to ask them a question. I like to ask them an either or question. For instance, hey, have you done your projected chart, or can we do it together? That tip has served me for over 4 years. Have you done that?
Has served you, not the person, has served you. So you're asking people to chart their customers, their distributors, whatever, so that it serves you. Wow.
Or can we do it together? Hey, do you think this or this? Because if you ask a yellow a straight on question, they're going to think and think and think and think and think and stress and think and worry and think and think and think. And then you're like, well, they opened up the chat and didn't respond. They freaking hate me. Or where are they at? Hello. Like us reds are like, you were just talking to me like all the time and now you went and ghosted me. They're overthinking. And so sometimes yellows, they don't want to get the wrong answer. They don't want to fail expectations, but they can lack that initiation. And so yellows, that's something you have to grow in. You have to know it's okay to make mistakes, and it doesn't mean you're a bad person. You didn't mess anything up and you're not a failure. Yellows, a blind spot for them is they do think that they're bugging, or sorry, everyone's like, oh, so uncomfortable. They feel like they're bugging, or
they're uncomfortable because you are so rude. You're trying to sort people into these color personalities so that they learn how to manipulate their team members that are probably on that same call if they have team members. This is a training on how to manipulate people. And you're doing that and you're being rude off of these people that are ordering products every single month that you make money off of because they are doing that.
maybe like they are insignificant. Think about it. Okay. Yellows like to serve.
Yeah, the snapping.
They like to be behind the scenes. So they kind of have that like Cinderella, I'm not important, I'm the bottom of the totem pole, I'm to be seen and not heard, don't speak unless spoken to type mindset. And yellows, you, to me, in my unbiased opinion, because I'm not a yellow, you are one of the greatest color personalities there can be. I do think yellows are the total package. They just don't know how great they are. Because yellows, like for instance, if you're a teacher, you know how to walk in your classroom and make it fun. You can put a blue hat on. You know how to walk in and have authority. You can put a red hat on. You know how to be organized in structure and put a green hat on. And like you're you're the chameleon color. You have a superpower that no other color has. But when you walk out of the classroom, sometimes you don't know who you are and what you want, right? Because you're so busy taking care of everyone else. And so just realize that give yourself permission to take up space. You're allowed to take up space. You're enough just as you are. And we just want to help you be the best version. And yellows don't know how to say no. Oh my gosh. Y'all be saying yes to all the wrong things that don't lead you to your finish line. Okay. So we're going to work on that. So how can you best lead a yellow? How can you serve them? Constantly remind them it's okay to prioritize themselves. One of my favorite things with yellows to do, I will tell you, I probably am going to be 15 minutes over. I am going to get into some color combos, which gets really exciting. So if you have to hop off, I understand. But hopefully.
Are we doing color theory? Are we going to go over the color wheel? Color combos? Oh my God. This is wild. We did not get this far in the members only live. By the way, have you become a member yet? Why not? You should. It's a good time. We made that thumbnail together and we often do. This is so odd to me. Ashley, what are you doing? Did you think this was good training? I bet she did. She probably got off and was like, you know what? That was some bomb training. You know how I know? Because I got goosebumps. I can hear her. I can hear her saying it. Oh man. While we have a second so that Ashley here can catch her breath, let's take a second and look at the income disclosure statement from ItWorks. This is 2022. I have included this in the video description as well. Let me make it a little bit bigger if I can. That's pretty good. So here we have the income disclosure statement. It comes directly from ItWorks. And if you look, the first rank is distributor, and it makes up 85.13% of all distributors. And then they have this interesting little percent of active distributors. Typically, you'll have to look at the fine print. Yep, right there on that second paragraph. You guys probably can't read it on your end, depending on how you're watching this, because it's very, very small. But in 2022, this is what it says. In 2022, 95.5% of all distributors, active and inactive, received income from ItWorks, and 4.5% of all distributors received no income at all. That actually wasn't what I was looking for. They typically will, here it is. First paragraph, the income statistics above are reflected in US dollar amounts. Income is defined as commissions received from ItWorks and does not include income received from personal sales. Active distributor is defined as a distributor who earned at least one commission in 2022. So what they have done here is, instead of accounting for whatever percentage of distributors did not make any money in ItWorks in 2022, they have this they have to be active so that they can get rid of or disregard the people that are not making any money, because that would skew these numbers dramatically. So that's why these companies, in my opinion, have some sort of stipulation that says, oh, in order for you to be an active distributor, you have to either place an order or have customers or a combination or whatever. And then they'll be included in the income disclosure statement. Every company does this a little bit different, but pay attention to that when you're looking at these income disclosure statements. They'll typically explain what that is in the compensation plan or in the fine print paragraphs below the income disclosure statement. So anyways, distributor. Now, they have the high and the low of the income for that rank. But look at the active distributor. So they're disregarding anybody that didn't make any money, even though they paid to join the company in some way, shape, or form in 2022. Because they're not making an income, they're disregarding it. Skews the numbers in a big way, in my opinion. $87 a month. This is before any expenses. This is before any website fees or before they've ordered any products, because there is massive influence for these people to be a product of the product, buying the new things, trying the products, because you can't sell what you don't know about. Please. Okay. Active distributor monthly average $87. And that's 85.13% of all distributors. I'll just leave it at that. If you want to look at the rest of this income disclosure statement, you can. It is linked in the video description. Let's go to the top rank. 0.14% of all distributors are ambassador diamond. The average monthly income, $23,226. Yeah. So there's that. I think it's important that we cover these as much as we can, even though they're not standardized. I wish they were standardized so that these companies can't list this information and be deceptive. I mean, these numbers are already really terrible, but imagine if they had to include everybody that joined in 2022, whether they were making an income or not. That would be pretty wild. Anyways, let's get back to Ashley.
Stay on. I'll try to be as efficient as possible. But yellows, one of my favorite things to do with yellows is to get them to start doing personal development. This is not to get them to do personal development before they take action. Heckle, we won't take action. Action, drop this in the chat. Action breeds confidence. Everybody
By the way, another one bites the dust. Tupperware declared bankruptcy. I wonder who's going to be next. Modair? Monet? Mona? However you say that. I don't know.
That in the chat. Action breeds confidence. Action breeds confidence. A lot of people think, well, I need to develop confidence first. I'm not confident to go Facebook Live. I'm not confident to talk to people. The only way you gain confidence is by doing the work. You get results, or you learn, but you get results, and then you're confident. And you rinse and repeat. A book is not going to teach you confidence. A podcast is not going to teach you confidence. It might motivate you for the day, which is good. We need motivation. But what breeds confidence is the work. And the only place that confidence comes before work is in the dictionary. Okay. And so you get to prioritize yourself. God. You get to say yes to you, and you get to build a bomb business. Okay. So let's talk about some color combos. Go ahead and drop your combo in the chat one more time. I'm a red blue. I want to see what other combos there are on here. A yellow blue, a green yellow, a red. Green, yellow, yellow, green, red, yellow, yellow, red. Love it. Blue, red, blue, red, green. Do we have a...
Is she really just going to read all the different combinations from people in the chat?
Green, red on tonight. I think that will be the last color combo if we have a green, red. Okay. Blue, yellow, yellow, blue. Love it. Okay. All right. So let's talk about these color combos, okay? Because it really matters. Out of all four colors, you are your top two. The third color you wear like a hat, and then the third color you're typically not. So for me, I am a red blue through and through. I'm like 60% red, 30% blue. I know how to wear that yellow hat when I need to. Ooh. And then I always joke I'm negative 37% green. Okay, yay, a blue, green, and a green, blue. Perfect. I think we actually have all the color combos on here tonight. This is incredible. So let's talk about the red, green, red combo, okay? No matter which order you are, your order does matter. A red, green is different than a green, red, okay? But let's just talk about this color combo, whether it doesn't matter which order it is. Green, red, greens are internally driven. These are two color combos that are focused on themselves. Greens love to have a perfect plan. And reds love perfect execution. Okay. These are world changers. If you're this color combo, like you're a world changer, you are driven by growth, driven by progress. So greens and reds have a lot of similarities. They like to win. They like to have motion forward. They like to make sure that there is growth, there's progress. They like to have tangible proof that something is happening. Okay. They're very decisive and they are very direct. They do not mince their words. Where a yellow blue is going to tend to overthink and be a worry wart. A green red, like they're going to be the person, if you're a yellow, there are a blue personality there, or a yellow blue. Love you guys. Just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. I love you guys. But a yellow blue is going to overthink, and like a yellow blue would never say.
I feel like she's the type of person that says something really offensive and then she's like, oh, I'm just kidding. And then gets upset because that person is like, why would you say that to me? That's not funny. And then she's like, oh, it was just a joke. You can't take a joke. And then goes off in her stories about somebody being so sensitive when it was actually her that said something offensive. I feel like that's Ashley.
Okay. What happens if a yellow blue says, okay? It's with attitude, right? Like you don't ever say one word answers. Okay. A green red, that's how they communicate. They're like, okay. But if you're sensitive, you're like, oh my God, how did they mean that? Oh my God, they hate me. What did I do? Oh my, now you're in your head. Green reds, it's one word answers. I'd be telling my husband how much I love him and it'd be like, okay, love you too. I'm like, my emotions. Okay. They're just very.
Maybe it's because you're not very nice to him from the sounds of this, from the stories that you have shared about him and you and your relationship. Maybe that's why. Maybe you should try being nicer to people in general. Ashley, write that down. That is something that I feel like she needs to write down. Do a training on that. Actually, don't do a training on that because, yeah.
Very direct and they're decisive. Don't ask a green red what they want to eat unless you want to know what they want to eat. A lot of times, even in relationships, we ask people questions when we really want to give our answer. Well, if you around someone direct, they're going to be direct. And if you don't have the emotional maturity to handle that, you're going to think they're being rude. I think one of the greatest.
Ashley, I don't think you have the emotional maturity to handle some of the things that people need to be saying to you. Maybe you should read Emotional Intelligence 2.0 again and again and again and again. And maybe some of that will stick. Anyways.
Things that you could do is be direct and honest. I think it's respectful. Now, there's a way that you can do it. This is a color combo that is very sharp with their tongue. They can be very rude and they can say very mean things about people. And so that's something that they have to grow in as well. But they're very decisive. And so you want people like this in your life. So to help them, I think one way that you can help this color combo is help them to understand that not everybody is like them and help them to not get frustrated. There's usually like very little grace with this color combo because it's like, okay, I got a plan and I have to execute. So you're either on board.
Her snapping is so aggressive. Can you imagine her, you're having a conversation with her and she starts snapping? Listen. The Mexican side of me could never, and I know some of you are like, what? Yes, I am part Mexican. Does it show? No. But every now and then when the temper comes out, ooh.
Or you're off, but the ship has to move forward. And so there's very little flexibility. There's very little grace. And I do think that sometimes it's like with this color combo, it's like my way or the highway, right? And so it's like, it's because I said so, it's because it's my way. And so you have to be mindful of that. You have to be, this is a color combo that whenever they come in, they are going to be really strong executors and they might attract the opposite of them, people who don't take initiative, people who aren't structured, and they could drive them a little crazy. And so you just have to remember that not everybody's like you. It's really, really hard. Okay.
Yeah, maybe you should remember that, Ashley. Write that down. Ashley, I mean.
Talk about the opposite. Where are my yellow, blue yellows at? Hey, it's all about the people. This is externally driven. So where green, red greens only care about themselves. Praise the Lord. Yellow blues only care about other people. Okay. It's very relationship and heart driven. Yellows want to serve everybody else. Blues want to be the life of the party and make everybody feel good. Don't leave me out. Okay. And so yellows, highly sensitive. Blues, very emotional. Okay. So, but what I love about this color combo is blues are so joyful. You know, and you like, do y'all know that one person in your life that just like everybody loves them and they're so fun to be around and they're like the light and you're like, God, I love that person. Like they're just a hoot, you know? And they might be a blue personality. I don't know. They might not be, but typically they are. Like it's one of the things I just adore about Arlisha so much. Arlisha is just one of my ride or dies. Okay. We could be looking like, don't get me and Arlisha in a serious situation and we're in the same room because we'd be looking outside of our eyes like Jerry from Tom and Jerry. It's game over. We can't even look at each other. We'd be snorting, boohoo, laughing, crying. Okay.
The accent, the black scent.
But she's just so full of joy, and it's something I admire about her. You can't be around Arlisha or in her presence without you feel better about yourself. And yellows just love to be. Yellows love relationships and they love to care about people, and you need those people in your life. One of my best friends is a dominant yellow, and her words matter, and she's like, we've got to connect on Zoom and we've got to see each other and we've got to, and it makes me feel so good because she prioritizes me, and it makes for a relationship. And so if you have this color combo, if you are this color combo or you have this in your downline, I want to challenge you, help them to get on a schedule and give them permission to prioritize themselves. A lot of times yellows will say yes to everybody else in their life except their business and what's actually going to move their family forward. And
y'all are wild in the live chat.
That's why you jumped into a business like this, is so that you can add value to your family. Yellows are the personality that want to give back to their kids. They want to give back to their parents. They want to give back to their community. They want to do more and be more. They want to make an impact. But you're not going to do that unless you're on a schedule. And yellows will typically say yes to their neighbor that they don't even know their last name. They're like, can you take my cat to the vet? A yellow's like, yep, I got it. Because you're fulfilled by doing things for people. And if you're not on a schedule, you're going to do everything for everybody else and you're going to have a lot of regrets at the end of life. And then blues they like to float where their feelings are. And so if you're not feeling good about your business or you feel like it's not working for you, blues are the ones that will ghost you. Here today, gone tomorrow, because they just want to be happy all the time. And life isn't always happy. And so when you develop discipline, which is a key for this color combo, is having discipline, it will change your life. And so if you don't have discipline, you're going to be the person that's in the business for years and years and years and years and years, and you never rank up.
Or perhaps the people that don't rank up are not ranking up because it's how the business model is written, Ashley. According to the income disclosure statement, according to the compensation plan, remember the whole charting thing that they have to do. Come on, Ashley. This is wild.
I don't say that in a disrespectful way. I say that in a way to activate you to be like, hey, it's time that I prioritize myself because I don't want to stay where I'm at. So
you see what you're doing is you're trying to manipulate their behavior by saying something offensive. And then you're like, listen, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just telling you how it is because I care about you and I want you to move forward. But she needs her team to move forward so that she can move forward, whether we're talking about her making more money or we're talking about her rank advancing or whatever. She can't do that without her team advancing. So there's all of this emphasis on that, but the statistics show that that's never going to happen. So this is such a waste of time and energy. And it's a lesson, I guess, in how to manipulate people to try and get them to do what you want them to do, what she wants them to do. This is wild.
Let's talk about, my favorite color combo. I'm just kidding. Let's talk about red blues. Where are my red blues at, or blue reds? We are very people oriented. Reds, we value leadership. We value making a difference or like leading a team, moving people forward, crossing.
Does anybody else think it's odd that she keeps saying we anytime she's talking about red or blue, and it feels like she's making this training about herself? It's one thing to say, well, I'm a red blue, or I'm a this, or I'm a that. And then I feel like it should be reds blah, blah, blah. Blues do blah, blah, blah. But she's like, oh, we, I. And I'm like, what are you doing? It's so weird.
Finish lines. And then, of course, blues were the life of the party. So we're very people oriented when it comes to our personality. We do tend to.
What company is that? I would love to know if you're comfortable sharing, and if not, that's okay too.
Operate with a level of urgency that can be very toxic if we're not careful. We can absolutely be the color combo of Chicken Little, the sky is falling. Like, oh my gosh, this has to happen right now, or it's the end of the world. And like, it's really not the end of the world. We just need to take a deep breath, but we can be very dramatic.
Arbonne. I love that. Arbonne. Love that. I'm tuning in from Vegas.
Is a very self-focused color combo. It like low functioning. And the reason I say that, because I know you're probably thinking, well, didn't you just say blue is a very external color? It is, but a low functioning blue, we don't like being judged by people. So like
we're judging you, Ashley. All of us are judging you for the manipulation that you were trying to teach people to participate in.
Like a green personality judges themselves, a blue personality is afraid everyone else is judged. I'll make a fool of myself in a room if it'll make you like me, because I just want to be liked. We want to feel adequate. We want to.
Oh, she's going to have a hard time if she finds out I did this video. It's going to be a very bad day for Ashley if she cares about what other people think of her.
Feel enough. Okay. And so sometimes our low functioning, like, oh my God, it's the end of the world, 911, it's a massive deal. And, you know, I know every personality is like this, where you can stay up for like days, but I literally I will lose sleep over conversations. I will be 3 days later in the shower thinking about what I could have, should have, would have said. And again, I know that's not privy to a certain color combo. I just know that I do that a lot. And I know that part of my blue personality can be very low functioning. You know, I've got to be very mindful of that. But I also think that it's one of the greatest things about us, because we operate with a level of urgency. Like, tomorrow's not promised. We got to get it done, because we know that today matters, because today counts towards tomorrow, counts towards next week. So urgency can be a really good thing. I really do think that a red-blue personality best needs help with discipline and structure. A lot of times we're moving so fast. Our red wants to run and our blue wants to run in circles. And so like we're moving so fast, this color combo, and we're so excited and we're doing all the energy and we're getting nowhere. If there's
sounds like this training. It sounds like this training. Lots of energy, running in circles, Ashley.
Not structure. And so like, this is the type of person that wants to message 100 people. And they're like, and then you get blocked. And then you're like, oh my God. And then we're all dramatic, right? And it's like, I know us, the greens are like, you are so dumb. God bless the greens, right? Like, the blues are the ones that you hate, okay? And so I'm always like, oh, like the people my husband's making fun of, I'm always like, oh, that's me. Like, I'm like walking in a room like, Okay, anyways. So you need discipline, you need structure. Okay, so let's talk about green, yellow, yellow, green. Where are y'all at? You guys are very task-oriented. So if you notice the color personality, one side is people, one side is very task, okay? And this is huge for your business. So for instance, the people side, you guys are the ones that should be doing Facebook Lives. You guys are the ones, that should be sending voice memos. You guys are the ones that should be doing parties. You guys are the ones that should be, doing Zoom calls with people, right? Because you have really good energy and you're going to have a level of confidence about you. I'm not saying you're perfect. Again, it's a sliding scale. But like this color combo, do not throw them in the deep end.
Ashley, stop clapping on a Zoom. It's annoying. Stop snapping your fingers on a Zoom. Stop yelling. Calm down. Take a breath. Stop running in circles.
They will quit on you, okay? It would be a cold day before I got a yellow green to go do a Facebook Live. They'd be like, okay, and then they would never talk to you again. And so this color combo, I literally love. I think me too, Rebecca. Like, they still scare me to this day. I mean, it's because you don't want to be judged, but like, it's something we're good at, even if it makes us uncomfortable. So very task oriented. So this is a phenomenal color combo to get them understanding the system of host to post. Oh my gosh.
She just did. Melissa, you asked for it. She clapped at you again. Oh, I almost played it twice. Very necessary.
Don't be like this. Okay. I know we have a lot of people who are yellow, green, green, yellow that just kill it with discipline, kill it with structure, kill it with host to post, because it's just very task oriented and behind the scenes. And so, if you're not, I mean, all color combos should be doing host to post, but just so hear my heart in that. Okay. But being very task oriented, this color combo just kills it. They're very much processors. So where a red blue like myself is going to insert foot in mouth. We're going to speak before we think. We're going to overstretch. We're going to, just make a fool of ourselves. These are going to very introspect. They're going to be processors, and they're going to, process and chew and mull it over and create scenarios, and they're going to overthink. And so if you're leading one of these people who are maybe not as high functioning where they can articulate, and again, I do think a green yellow is better at articulating than a yellow green. Because again, green yellow is totally different than a yellow green. I think that they will articulate. However, I do think like a yellow green tends to very much get in their head.
Green, yellow, yellow, green, green, yellow, yellow, green. You know what she's missing from all of this? A single source, a single one.
Over process. And so if you're leading someone like that, you've got to know that about them. So you can't like create your own scenarios in your head as to why they're not answering you, if that makes sense, right? How many of you are the person, if someone doesn't match your energy or emotions, you immediately think that you've done something wrong or that they're mad at you? Anybody? Because I know like I can get that way when I'm low functioning. I've had to learn how to assume positive intent over the last few years, like, okay, maybe they're busy, or maybe I'm overthinking this, right? So like I said something the other day and I have not stopped processing it. And I just keep telling myself, as a blue, like I'm being a worrywart, and I'm like, you're just worrying about this, like it's taking up space, and that's not what it means. But I'm like, oh my God, I probably sounded so dumb when I did that. Oh my God, no one laughed. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I said that. Wow, they probably think I'm dumb. Blue.
Slow claps. I'm going to add the slow part. Slow claps in the chat for Ashley.
Can do that as well. So understand that. But these ones, this color combo really overthinks. So give them space to do that. And I think that if you're ever questioning if someone's in their head, just ask them. And I've really grown strong this year. I love all of you that are yellows, but I'm just unapologetic. I'm like, hey, you're overthinking this. And I'm just calling it like, hey, you're overthinking this. Like, just answer. Or the blues, right? The worrywarts. You're overthinking it. You know what to do. Trust your gut. Okay. But anyways, these really need help with being hands-on. So if you are leading a green yellow and they tell you they got it, they might not got it. Okay. I like to look at facts if people have it. If there's results in eSuite, that means
I'm sorry. You like to look at facts, but you're in a multi-level marketing company giving training like this, hoping that people will take action. I think that's ultimately what she's trying to get them to do, is understand who they are according to this garbage and trying to get them to take action. Why? So she makes more money. Yeah, this is so wild.
You got it. But even then, some of the highest producers still need help, right? And so don't just think that someone's got it when they tell you they've got it. But if you are a green yellow and you're in leadership, Ruby and above, and you have a team underneath you, you might think, okay, I'm here, team. Let me know if you need me. That's not leadership. You have to look at people as babies.
Hey, Ashley, another thing you may want to write down, what you're doing here is also not leadership. That's not what this is. You might think it is, but addressing people as babies, insulting. And I think that the part of that that's the most insulting is that she is coaching these people like they're business owners, and she's telling them you have to treat them like babies. Well, which is it? Are they babies that need their diapers changed and need to be fed because they can't feed themselves? Or are they business owners? This is so...
You have to look at your newborns like they need help every single day. And so green yellows can be so focused on their tasks that they forget to lead, and or they go the opposite of that. There's at least one green, yellow, green on here who cares too much about their team instead of their own enrollments. because you're so busy leading your team. You're always available for them. You always want to help them. You always want to respond.
Exhausting.
However, you've gone, because you're not leading from the front, you've gone from leadership to management. And nobody wants a manager. Okay. No. And I'm not saying this doesn't happen. Yes, there's moments where there's a rock star on your team that out enrolls you. Okay. Megan Johnson and Jessica Eisner, last month tied 24 enrollments. Job well done, ladies. I did not get 24 enrollments, but guess what? I don't feel bad about that because
I'm sorry. You're going to recognize 2 of your team members for recruiting 24 people in a month and tying, and then you're going to make it about you. I mean, I didn't do that, but you know, I'm waiting for the punchline so that she can laugh. You know how this whole training, she'll say something offensive and then she laughs like, oh, you know, I'm just being silly. It's just a joke. It's fine.
Always leading from the front. So you can have someone underneath you that's outperforming you. As long as you're always meeting your quota, you won't feel bad about it. But when you get to the point where you're not producing, but you're hands-on with your team every day, you will develop imposter syndrome because you can't lead your team beyond where you're at. And so just be mindful of that. Be hands-on with your team. Let's keep moving forward. Where are my red, yellow personalities at? These are very result oriented. This is the hardest working color combo that there is out of all the color combos. Reds are always taking action for themselves. Yellows are always taking action for other people. So if a red doesn't have a personal goal, then they have a goal for other people. This color combo does not sit still very well. They are highly stubborn. And so this is the color combo that once they've got it, they've got it. They're probably not going to ask for help. They're probably not going to respond to you. They're probably not going to show you any emotion. They tend to be, I always say they're a little heartless. I don't mean that where they lack emotion, because yellows are definitely sensitive, but they don't connect emotionally because they lack that blue. And so these are reds, red, yellow, yellow.
I'm sorry. You're trying to say that people can't connect emotionally with other people because they're a yellow? What in the pseudoscience is happening here? I don't.
Yellow red color combo are the ones literally dying in a car accident with their arm severed off, and they're going to make money. They're going to get something done. They're going to pick up groceries for their family.
I'm sorry, but if your arm was severed off, they're probably worried more about bleeding out than anything else in that moment. What are you doing?
Family. These are the ones that get really offended. If you are this color combo, you've probably worked at a job where you got offended that someone couldn't come in because they were sick. Or you have someone in your team that's like, oh, I can't come to Team Zoom. I'm not feeling well. Or my child is sick. And you get really offended by it because you're like, that's why it's a Zoom. You can listen while you're laying in bed next to your kid, pop a headphone in. And I'm speaking candidly like that, not offensively, but this is—
No, that's offensive. Yeah. You might say, oh, not offensively. I'm just being direct. I'm just being honest. No, you're being offensive. You're being rude. You're trying to say that somebody's child that is sick is not a priority and that they can do 2 things at once. I'm sorry. If my children are sick, I'm going to focus on my children and what they need. They may not need anything. They may want to be left alone. That's okay. But I'm going to focus on that. And this is a perfect example of the influence that these leaders try to use to get people to sacrifice things in their daily life. What I mean by that is we always hear them, people in MLM, saying, oh, you can work this in the pocket of your day. And what slowly happens over time is that you start living your life in those pockets of the day, and everything else has to do or is filled around the MLM. And so this is, I feel like, one of the first steps. I don't know if I've really ever talked about this before, but it's like, let's see what this person is willing to do so that we know they're going to stick around, so that we can continue to make money off of them. If their child is sick and they're on the Zoom, I'm going to shout that behavior out, because that is what, she wants other people on the team to do, because she thinks this training is so important. And she more than likely is going to be offended when people say, oh, I don't feel good, or my child is sick, or whatever, which are all valid excuses to not getting on a Zoom. She probably recorded it anyways. Oh my.
This is what this color combo is thinking. And so they called me and said if I could say this on the Zoom. I'm just kidding, they didn't, but they're probably going to Venmo me some money later. Here's a 5, thanks for that. I'm just kidding. But this is what they're thinking. Like, what? If I can do it, you can do it. If I can.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, listen, I'm sacrificing all this time. I'm showing up even though blah, 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 blah. So you can too. Okay.
Push through, you can push through, right? So they're a very a hands-on learner. They are very, I have found the pattern is very visually stimulated. So they want to Zoom, they want to know, because that yellow activates, right? Well, what button do I push? How do I make this? And they're really not resourceful. This is going to sound really weird, but depending on the level of low functioning to high functioning, this color combo almost becomes bossy and wants you to do something for them, which sounds really opposite because they're stubborn and they don't want to ask for help. But especially a red yellow, I love you guys, but sometimes they think so highly of themselves that they like have this expectation. Okay, I need you to do this for me. They just start bossing people around. And I want you to do this for me. I want you to do this for me. And I'd be like, no, you can learn. You can go ask. You can go find. And so just know that they're either really hands off or they can be really hands on. But I think the biggest thing that you can do and you can serve them is to help them connect emotionally. Help them. You know, these are the people literally. Okay, they're like, I don't know how to write a status because they want to say, I lost weight, feels good. You should lose weight too. They're like, I'm like, send me something. They're like, I lost weight, feels good, you should too. They're like, that's my heart. That's as best as I can be. And so you really have to help them like develop like how to story tell, okay? So let's talk about green blues, blue greens. This is a very tough combo. I say that very respectfully. But this color combo, and I'll get to that in a second. This color combo, one of the greatest strengths is they're very detail oriented. So they're a lot of fun. They're very, very detailed. They're very hyper creative personality, which is really good. These are the talkers. Believe it or not, you greens can talk someone's ear off because you like to let the whole world know how smart you are. Don't you be asking a green what time it is. They will mother truck and tell you how to make a watch. Okay. Like they'll tell you everything.
I'm sorry. Did she just say mother truckin'? Why is she talking like this? Do you guys think she's talking like this because she thinks it sounds like interesting or cool or trendy or what? Why? Why is she talking like mother truckin'? Got it.
And so if you're this color combo, you will shoot a fire hose at people. You will not take a mother truckin' breath and you will exhaust the people around you. Okay. And so this is where like you need to.
Can you guys hear Gavin playing the guitar? I don't know if you, let me know if you can hear that. Of course, now he stopped.
Stop trying to talk to people on your own and start using your leader or the scripts, okay? But this color combo, oh my gosh, okay. You just, because greens, you don't just want them to know the product. You want them to know the product, like where it's manufactured, how it comes in the bottle, what the temperature of the soil was, like where the sun was when the ingredients got harvested. Like you want them to know everything because you're driven intellectually. I'm gonna tell you right now, 95% of people don't even care it's ItWorks till the box shows up on the front door. So you got.
I don't know that that's true. And I would love to know the source on that. Did they survey everybody in the company? No, just your opinion? Cool.
How to use your intellect in the right arena. Just like stubborn people have to use their stubbornness in the right way, you have to save your energy for the right.
He's playing his electric guitar, which is on the other side of this wall right here. And we have one of the little amps. It's not super loud. I can hear it, but it's just because it's on the other side of the wall. I wasn't sure if it was picking up on the mic or anything. I do have it set up to where the mic is only picking up here. But yeah, just curious if you guys could hear it. And yeah, he loves playing it.
Thing because it takes a lot of energy to tell people how smart you are. I love you greens. It takes a lot of energy, okay, to tell people how smart you are. Blues, y'all we get so excited. I'm so grateful that Facebook Messenger now has, you can 1.5x and 2x voice memos, because I literally want to come through the screen when you blues send me a 4.5 minute voice memo, a 7 minute voice memo. Like, if you don't understand, I have over 1,000 active distributors underneath me, and you locking up my phone for 7 minutes, I want.
Oh my God, you are so important, Ashley. You are so busy. You are so important. How dare somebody of the 1,000 people in your downline reach out and ask you a question? Maybe they were having a hard time with how to ask the question, and they were, it's easier to say it verbally than it is to type it out. Oh, she is too busy for that, you guys. Come on, the ego.
To go to your doorstep and poop on your doorstep. I love you and I want to hear your story, but I don't need to know what shirt you're wearing, what time it was, how cold it was. You're yelling at your dog in the back. Oh, my dog, he just got new.
Remember when you said you were treating people like babies? Then you would have a say in how you were dressing them. So which is it?
So you know how Fido is. Okay, I love you, and this is me. I'm the pot's calling the kettle black. Okay, this is 100% me. I'd be telling you, I gotta set the scene, baby.
Stop.
We're the blues at. We're the storytellers. We're the communicators. Okay.
So you're upset that people are sending you long voice messages, but it's okay for you to do it.
I got to set the scene, heifer. I need you to know 17 details so you can get the story in my head, or in your head like it's in my head, okay? You got to be respectful. This is a business. And
except it's not, because if you are a 1099 contracted worker with a multi-level marketing company, you don't own a business. Okay, there's that. Also, if it's a business, why are you treating people like babies? So there's also that, even though we know it's not a business, but it's kind of weird. Kind of uncomfortable, Mm-mm.
I love it. One of my distributors said that every people who aren't busy don't respect busy people. And I was like, ding, ding, ding. That's it.
That's so
like,
rude.
Why do you want to Zoom when it could be a voice memo? And why is it a voice memo when it could be bullet pointed? Like, help me, help you, help me. Okay. And pop calling the kettle black. I'll be telling you, I'll stop sending me voice memos. And then I'll be sending 2-minute voice memos. But a great thing that you can do when you are communicating, if it is your team, if I send.
Maybe take your own advice, Ashley. Maybe take your level of self-importance down a little bit, a lot.
Send you a 2-minute voice memo. I am going to give you some bullet points, or I'm going to say it's not important. It can wait. I'm going to give you a heads up on what it is. Okay. But you have to understand that you're going to scare off a lot of people if this is your color combo. So be mindful of that. And then the biggest thing with this color combo, I'm having a lot of fun. I got to move a little faster. We still have a couple more slides. This color combo, you really struggle. And I say this in love, but I would not be your leader if I didn't say it. I do think that this color combo needs to invest in counseling. I do think everybody on the planet.
First of all, Ashley, let's maybe not suggest what people should be doing. You are not a professional. And I mean that in many different ways. But to be suggesting somebody get counseling in this way, makes me uncomfortable. Don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of therapy. I'm a fan of that. I think it's an amazing and helpful tool for so many people. But let's not forget that the underlying reason she's doing this is to control people's behavior so that she can make more money. That's the only reason she's doing this, in my opinion. Oh, gross.
And it needs to invest in counseling. I think that it will absolutely change your life. However, the reason I think it is because this is a very, I don't want to use the word tormented. I feel like that's a very deep word, but it's the judgment that this color combo feels is so deep. Because as a green, whether you're blue-green or green-blue, as a green, your perfectionistic mindset, you consistently set this unrealistic bar that you have to hit. And then the moment you take one day off from that and you calm down, the blue activates and you think everybody else is judging you. So you're getting the judgment from, you live in a world of condemnation a lot, if that makes sense, and maybe shame. And that's just a really heavy for people to deal with. And again, I think anyone can do that, but I know specifically this color combo. I've helped a lot of people, hey, let's make you some money. And because they were like, I absolutely need counseling. I feel like I'm going crazy on the inside. And again, that's everybody needs counseling. Okay. I actively see a counselor. My husband does, our oldest daughter does. We invest heavily into our mental health. But this color combo, there's something different about it, where there's so much judgment on the inside, whether it's personal judgment or internal or external judgment, that can be really damaging. Okay. And so
I was thinking this as she was talking about this, I was like, oh my God, is she talking about her husband?
Okay, let's go through this. How do they feel accomplished? Let's kind of break down each color. Reds, how do we feel accomplished? We like to win. We like to be the boss. We like to call the shots. We like to win. If we're not winning, it's not enough. And so we kind of have to realize that it's okay. Like, progress is progress, even if we're not crossing the finish lines, but we feel accomplished when we're winning. A green feels accomplished when they check things off. When they can see tangible proof that there's progress, when you get that to-do list checked off, a green feels progress. A yellow feels progress when they're serving others and making a difference. When you did something for someone else, when you took care of something, that act of service, whatever it is, you feel accomplished. And a blue feels accomplished when they know they've created an experience, when they've made an impact in someone else's life. They feel accomplished. How does each color like recognition? Let's talk about that. Us reds stroke our ego. We are a very external recognition receiver. One of my best friends is a yellow, and she will send me the most beautiful text message.
Did I just choke on my Diet Dr. Pepper because I swallowed it funny? Yes. Am I okay? Also, yes.
That are her words are perfect. They're crafted. They stroke my ego, but I literally am like, why couldn't you have posted that on social media?
Ooh.
If you want to stroke my ego, you're not going to do it to my face. I want you to do it in front of the room. I want you to tell the room how powerful I am. I want you to tell the room how enough I am. I want you to tell the room how much of a winner I am. Okay. Where my reds at? Okay. And so that's how we receive. That's how we like recognition. What about my greens? They like their intellect stroked. Tell them how smart they are. And this is a very external receiver as well. Tell the room how smart they are. Tell the room how their idea worked. Tell the room how their system worked, okay? Don't tell them to their face how smart they are. They already know. I already know I'm a winner. I don't need you to fill my cup. But you can tell the whole world. You could tag me on Facebook. You tag me right now on Instagram and say how this is a cool training. I'll repost it. That fills my cup up. I'm like,
should I tag her? Does she? Well, first, let's see. Does she have me blocked? Oh my God, she does not have me blocked. Maybe I'll just react to one of her reels. Wow, her engagement, her views, her reach. Alarming. How do you have 89.5K followers and 59 people have seen your last reel?
You love me. But you can message me and tell me that I changed your life, and I appreciate it. But
hurry and download
greens
her
are the
content.
same way. Greens, you tell the world how smart they are and how it was their idea that was the winning idea.
You know what I could do? I could block her first, so she can't block me, and then I can unblock her to be able to see what I need to see. That is diabolical.
And you do it in front of the room because they already know that they're smart. They already know they're right. But you tell the room they're right, you just lit them up. Yellows, how much their action helped you. Yellows are very one-on-one, very personable, where a red likes big recognition, a green likes big recognition. A yellow and blue are a little bit more close to the chest. And I'm going to explain why. Yellows don't like to make a big deal about stuff. They kind of don't like that attention. They prefer behind the scenes. And again, I'm not saying everybody likes public recognition. Okay, everybody likes that. Okay, everyone wants to know that they have value. So take it with a grain of salt, what I'm saying. But yellows really like to know that what they did made a difference. That their action, man, when you took on this task for me, wow, that allowed me to do what I could only do. Thank you so much. You made a difference. Like, whoo, you just gonna light a yellow up, okay? And so that's a really big deal. Blues, let them know how you made them feel. Blues were very driven by impact. So, for instance, and the reason that I say that blues are a little bit more face to face, and again, it's not that blues are the life of the party, they like to be loud. Sometimes because blues don't like to be judged.
Benjamin, this is Ashley Mayfield. She is in ItWorks. We refer to her, she refers to herself as the pastor's wife. I don't know which. And she is extremely offensive. So yeah, just brace yourselves. Also, hello.
For me, I can walk into a room, and if you're a blue and you feel this exact way, drop a yes in the chat. I can walk in a room and make a fool of myself and not be embarrassed. But if you
I mean, you should be embarrassed. You should be embarrassed by this, that you put out publicly. I mean, we're entertained, but you should be embarrassed.
catch me off guard to give me recognition, you will publicly humiliate me. It's a very fine line with my blue and my red on what I love and what I don't. If I know I'm going to be honored, that is totally different. If you blindside me, there's a chance that as a blue, I'm going to feel embarrassed, especially if you want me to talk and I'm not prepared. Oh my, like I'm going to say something dumb, like my brain goes dead. Okay. Like I can't think. And so I don't like to be caught off guard, but blues, we really do like an impact. And when I speak on stage, and then someone comes up to me and said, oh my God, you made me feel like you were talking just to me, or you made me feel like I could do this, or because of your...
She has done nothing but talk about herself. The majority of this, not all of it, the majority of this training, as she refers to it, is her talking about herself.
Story, I paid off debt too. Oh, y'all, that just fills my little love tank. It feels my impact. It feels like, yes, I'm making a difference in the world and my story matters. And so blues love to know how they made you feel. So that's a little bit about color combos. Hopefully you guys learned something. Just to recap, leading yourself helps you lead other people. Make sure you know how to lead yourself. It's better to be too much than too little. You know, when I wasn't doing enough when I first started, and then whenever I learned about myself, I went to the opposite end of the spectrum where I kind of became a jerk. And that's something.
Are you still in that phase? Have you moved past that? I mean, you said you read emotional intelligence. I didn't really see any can't speak. I didn't really see any emotional intelligence, in my opinion, from you on this so-called training. So that's weird.
Times how you learn. I'm not proud of it, but you'll eventually balance out and find that happy medium, and growth is never ending. But I would always rather err on the side of being too much than not enough. You not leading yourself hurts your team. So just remember that when you're not trying to grow and be the best version of yourself and in pursuit of a better you, you really are hurting your team. And so your growth absolutely matters, and you have more in you than you realize.
Oh, that was it. That was how it ended. We did it, you guys. What did y'all think of that? If you had to summarize your thoughts on her quote unquote training, what would it be? I don't even know if I could summarize it, but I'm curious if some of you can. Wow. That was a dumpster fire. Yeah. Her downline must feel so scrambled after that. I can't imagine how her downline must have left that feeling and how confused they must be. Wow. I have secondary mania. Fair. A self-centered love session for one. Basic info from a basic person. Yeah. You have to help her help you to help her. Hey, Vin. Or are you going to play some guitar?
I want to show everybody something.
Okay, well, okay. Let me know if you guys can hear this. Well, they can't hear it because the amp's out there. Come closer. Gavin has some guitar he'd like to play for you guys. What are you playing?
Freebird.
You're playing Freebird?
Yeah.
All right, man.
I'm learning it right now. This is what it sounds like right now.
Okay.
No. So
You just learned that?
Yeah.
Nice, man.
It's some dude called Marty Schwartz on YouTube.
Oh, you're watching YouTube videos? Cool.
The dude that I always watch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Could you guys hear that? Oh, yeah, they could hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said cool.
I'll be back.
Is that a threat? Cool. You know, there's nothing like ending a good life with some guitar from my son. Proud of him. Proud of Mia, too. My kids, I'm a fan. I know that I'm their mother, but I am definitely a fan. Anyways, what a wild ride this was. I hope that people that are in Ashley's downline and maybe they were on that Zoom and they were thinking, is this normal for people to talk like this? No, it's not. It's not. And if you're in Ashley's downline, if you're in this company, you deserve better. You deserve to not be called a heifer. You deserve to be treated kindly. Yeah. You deserve to be making money, especially off of your efforts. You know, so get out of the MLM. Come on over to this side. It's much more chill, especially on my channel. We have a lot of fun. And yeah, if you guys loved today's video, today's live stream, if you would give me a thumbs up, I would appreciate it. And if you have not already subscribed, I love the fireworks. That's so fun. If you have not already subscribed, if you could do that, that would be amazing. It helps me get the word out so that people don't join these schemes and scams. And maybe we'll get some people that were a part of Ashley's downline and I can update if they feel comfortable sharing. If you don't want me to share, that's fine. I keep everybody anonymous just as an FYI. And if there's anything that you want me to see, the easiest way to submit it is through my website, erinbees.com. And you can tell me about Zooms. You can tell me your story. You can upload, you know, videos. There's all kinds of stuff that you can do right through my website. And if you need somebody to make a website for you, talk to Avery Jo because she made mine and I'm so grateful. Yeah, I'm going to go make dinner. We're going to have chicken enchilada bowls. Very excited about that. And I hope you guys have something yummy to eat and drink your water, take your meds if you need the reminder, take care of yourselves, and don't join an MLM. Okay? Don't do that. Not worth the time, the energy, and the waste of money. And if you need a certified personal trainer, I happen to know somebody. Check out my website. All right. I'll see you guys later.